The first time I met our new champion, at his parents' pub back in 2019, he came across as the papers still describe him. Friendly, but of few words. Sometimes his straight bat style can throw the listener off guard. For example, when reminded 6 Septembers ago that the man he was then serving, Kotoeko, had bid him to watch and learn, the youngster replied, "Learning by doing is better than watching." When you're blessed with his gifts, I guess. Push-ups he learned by doing aged 2 under his bodybuilder father and iron-willed mother. Sumo he learned from age 6 at the Kashiwa Juniors Club, whose current members crowded round a TV in a Kashiwa restaurant yesterday to savour his triumph together. Their coach and his coach, Mr. Nagai, said, "I'm beyond happy, I'm in dreamland." As a child, Shoho was bigger and stronger than pretty much all of his peers, even ripping out staircase banisters when working out forearms with a towel. At Saitama Sakai High School, it seems, he was slightly out bench-pressed by Oho, though I'm not sure he recalls it that way. Promotion to Pro Sumo's second tier in late 2019 brought a ring name change from Kototebakari to Kotoshoho. Well in time for this promotion party of 2020, at which his supporters club was launched. While the Sho evoked his mother's first name of Katsue, combined with Ho, it expressed a wish for him to reach the very top. As Master Sadogatake reiterated last week, "My aim has always been to see Kotozakura and Kotoshoho heading up the chart on East and West." Shoho, as you may recall, first outpaced Sakura, Kotonowaka, to the upper ranks. But the deft flicks and tricks he deployed on the way were decried by those who admired his power. "That's no way to fight for a man of your size," he was told, especially by then assistant coach Hidenoyama, who would often be teaching him complex belt moves in stable training sessions. But attempts to fight more direct put more pressure on his legs, and especially his right ankle, apparently weaker since birth. A first ever tournament pullout then followed, causing Hidenoyama to half blame himself, though of course there was no need for that. Despite being signed off for the rest of the meet, Shoho insisted he fight the last few, so as not to forget his tournament rhythm. All these little details have added up to his moment of triumph. Not that it seemed so back then, his woes becoming compounded with every passing meet. But a turning point of sorts arrived in September 2021, when he took a step towards dispelling his image of being an abject closer. Two meets further on, at the time of his younger brother's debut, and he was winning the second-tier crown for the second time. Still, complaints persisted about his so-called lethargic style, but were always packaged together with calls for him to fulfill the potential he clearly had. Injuries, though, kept striking at inopportune moments. I shall never forget how pale he looked when slumped against the arena wall in the minutes after this. I hope my words then proved of comfort. His cherubic face is essential soft padding for the layers of steel within, though. Mere weeks after his tour leg despair, he was back winning well and firmly on course to boost his rank, until typical final third jitters returned. His fallen face was anomalous at the joyous after-party which fated his colleagues' presumed rise to the Sanyaku ranks, a source both of envy and motivation. Within 2 months, he'd found a way to bolt those layers of inner steel in place and carry him to the brink of the First Division crown. Had he improved his poor records against either Takara Fuji or Onosho, he would surely have made that cup his own. By that April, though, his ankle was back to giving him grief, leading to a horrendous May and 10th day withdrawal. Again, though, he returned for the final 2 bouts for the sake of his tournament body clock. When his fan club teased a surprise announcement just 6 days after that, half of us thought he'd decided to quit. But no, he'd reveal his wedding to secret girlfriend Juna during Kakuryu's retirement event, which gave him rival star billing. Support from fans only grew with the news of the birth of his son that fall. He'd respond by completing his hat-trick of second-tier honours. A very rare feat indeed, I said to him on that December's tour. Guess so, he replied with the nonchalance of a man who was quietly aiming for more. 3 years ago, I was asked to provide the English text for a Kotoshoho t-shirt, illustrated by his father. With Ho meaning summit, and his focused eyes tilted slightly up, the tagline read like this. The shirts made their debut at Nagoya 2022, and may still be in fashion somewhere, though I can't keep up with the latest trends. I confess the word eyeing stood out stronger for me than summit. Had I vowed that just 3 years post this uninspiring display, and just 2 years post this one, that Kotoshoho would stand at a tournament summit, I might have been laughed out of Nagoya. Or Shizuoka if you go by the screwed up geography of Brad Pitt's Bullet Train movie. Certainly East Hiroshima, where no one seemed to know him at all. Fukushima, to which his parents have been to dine with those of the local hero Wakataka Kage. And even Ibaraki, where we recently saw the extent to which fatherhood had made him better with kids. But the folks of home prefecture Chiba, and especially hometown Kashiwa, dared to unceasingly dream that Kotoshoho's day at the summit would come. And when he declared on national TV that this title is for them, the punters who'd first seen him crawling across his parents' floors shed tears in proportion to the length and depth and emotional breadth of the magical journey made.